All right, let me know. Can you hear me now on this um, camera only? DM, can you hear me, bro? Better angle, good to go. That was freaky. No audio on the last one. It was the angle, Yuka. Thanks, bro. You got me covered, right? You got my back. Max, what's going on? GD Shenanigans. Candace, how you doing tonight? Carl J, what's up, my man? Real Rugged. XX Hallie, how you doing? Max Doug. D says you're good. Nixie, what's up, man? Maggie. Hey, Maggie. How you doing? Good to hear from you. Mass, pucker your lips. So you want some chapstick? What's up, bitch? Come on, BBD. You want a little bit of this action right here? You like that. You know that. Yeah, you like it. Dougie, what's going on? How you doing tonight? Glad to see all you guys in here right now. We have 70 people. You bust us, but yeah, dude, I had like a half an hour to get in here, have a glass of wine, eat dinner, take a shower, shave, and get on here. So yeah, I busted a sweat. What's up, player? Dr. D, how you doing? Says the content. You're late and sweaty. Hey, listen, don't ever take for granted what the next guy is doing to better himself. So if I'm sweating right now, that means I'm applying myself to my fullest potential. Roseanne, the West Coast is doing me very well. Man, I have a lot to tell you guys what happened the last 2 weeks. It's been crazy. Who said my title was clickbait? BBD said Mass uses shea butter. They still have shea butter in Boston? Yuka says Mass, you're ready to hold it for 2 more years. No, Yuka. Maybe we should address this right off the rip tonight. This is probably going to come up, right? So we might as well talk about it. So everyone knows that the YouTubers, every individual in this play who owns AMC has done whatever the fuck they've wanted to do from the get-go, right? We came into this play with a mission, with an outline, with something that we wanted to kind of stick by, right? But as time has moved on in the last 2.5 years, things have changed and you have to adapt, right? So for everyone saying that, how do the yes voters feel now? I'm pretty concerned about what's going on in Hollywood right now with the writers and the actors out and no end in sight. Professor Shift News says, "Where were you?" So let me tell you guys what happened when I came to Canada, because that's where I am right now. I'm going to release my coordinates. So the second day I arrived in the country, my ATM card was taken. The only way I could access American cash here. So that's been gone for 10 days now. Still waiting on a replacement. I had to beg the bank to send me a card up here because I'm like, I have no other way to withdraw this cash. So that happened the second day after I arrived up here. And some of you guys might know that I also didn't have an exact plan when I came across the country to start filming. And so when I got here, I didn't know what the next step was going to be. I had to figure out, where am I going to set up shop? Where will I be feeling safe? Who can I depend on? That took a little bit of time. And the most craziest thing is, and I got to say this. So some of you guys might know I've been on medication for a long time. I have a little bit of ADD, maybe a touch, maybe a little bit. But for the first time in 21 years since I was a sophomore in college, I had to physically wean myself off of Adderall for 3 weeks. And I have been hurting. And today was the first day I felt really normal. I was watching everything going on in the market today. I was watching you guys reading the comments, what was coming up in different live streams, seeing what people were saying, getting a feel for the community. And that's why I came out tonight for the first time, because I've just been really physically drained. I mean, I'm lethargic. After being on a drug like that's that strong, I didn't realize how potent it would be and how the withdrawals would be physical. I was going to feel it in my bones. So yeah, it's been a rough ride last 2 weeks, and on top of that, I wasn't able to access any cash, so that was horrible. By the way, thank you to you guys who sent me money on Venmo and Cash App. I couldn't have done without you guys, so thank you so much. It's been a rough 2 weeks, but you know what? That's over with. I'm done. Not going back. That life is gone now, I think, because I don't think I even need it anymore, and I can't get it up here anyways legally. So I don't want to get in trouble with the police. And yeah, that physical withdrawal was not easy though. It was tough. For the last 20 days, I've been down, man, emotionally too, because of everything that's happened. Then something else happened. So last time we did a live stream, I was talking. Maui had just happened, right, Lahaina, and we had said maybe we'll try to set up a live stream and do like half the super chats to like the victims fund or something like that. I threw that idea out there, and then I heard people were upset about that, and I was like, okay. And they were like, oh, you should just give all of it. And then a couple days later, I heard that the federal government rolled into fucking Maui with $700 checks for the people, right? And I thought to myself, why are we... It's sad that we're bickering over pennies here. Like anything that can go to help someone in Maui right now in distress. There's a couple of things with the whole YouTube thing you guys have to understand. First of all, if you get a super chat, you don't see that for 30 days, right? And then Google takes 30% of that. So really, let's cut that number in half. And then I have to front that money. And I understand people being upset and saying, you know, we have family members there. It was just something I felt. This is the first time I thought of doing something like that because it seemed like a real tragedy. And then now looking back on it, I'm like, man, those people are so screwed right now. If we could have sent them $50, that would have been better than nothing. So I was a little depressed about that people were upset with me for that. Yeah, I don't really know how to react. But I felt like doing something was better than nothing. And I wanted to help those people. They looked like they were in bad shape. And they still are. They still are. Our federal government has given them $700 checks and sending double that money to Ukraine in the last month. It is absolutely disgusting that Americans are putting up with this shit right now. I'm really pissed off. I'm sick of the federal government. I'm sick of the SEC. I'm sick of Fidelity today. I went to go buy AMC shares at fucking 330, right? So we're hindering around 1270. I'm like, all right, we're going to hit 13. Let's go. I'm going to buy some shares. I'm getting in right now. My Fidelity account goes down. I can't do anything. I can't buy, sell, options, trade, nothing. So one of the biggest lit exchanges to retail investors, available to retail investors, is shut down for the power hour. How is that not almost the same as taking away the buy button from retail? They might as well be called Robinhood at this point, as far as I'm concerned with Fidelity. Andrew says that's because Hawaii has nothing on us that the government has to worry about. Nixie says it's sick. Oh, Yuka, CSA's dad passed away? Oh, that sucks. I didn't know that. Shit. That's not good. If he comes over, I'll make sure I give my condolences. Just recently it happened. I know me and CSI have had disagreements in the past, but when someone's family member passes away, you put all that shit to the side, right? Roseanne says, Mass, I agree. Ukraine is bullshit. It's bullshit. Roseanne, Ukraine cannot win this war. They're down 400,000 young men right now. That country has been annihilated. And Lindsey Graham and all the other Democrats and Republicans don't give a shit about the Ukrainian people. They say they will fund them to the last Ukrainian. Just fucking pump them in the meat grinder. This is not the government we were set up to live under. Not for the people, by the people. It's not. Because the people disagree with this war. Right? Tommy B, what's up, man? GT, what's up, bro? James Harris says this weekend he passed. All right, CSI, I just want to say this right now, man. Hey, my condolences to you. No matter our differences, you are a family member of this community, and if a loved one of yours passed away, I wish you the best, man, and rest in peace. Yeah. Dan the Pound, how you doing? Matt, what's going on, man? Yeah, man, I'm doing okay. The last 2 weeks were really rough on. They were not easy. I wasn't expecting to have that physical reaction that I had where I was like, literally, I couldn't sleep, my legs. I mean, I had all kinds of symptoms I just never imagined would come from something like that. Roseanne says, they are losing and making it sound like they're winning, so many innocent people died. Horrible. I know. Hey, Dips, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on? Adam says, Ukraine is a globalist stronghold. Putin is ripping their world apart. You know, man, here's the thing. We can debate back and forth about Ukraine till kingdom come. But the fact of the matter is, both of these large entities that are backing their militaries have a vested interest in pursuing efforts of their oligarchy, which includes the members of government and everyone else. They're not doing this for the Ukrainian people. If they really care about the Ukrainian people, they would say, let's bring this to the table. Let's figure out what we got to do to bring an end to it and bring an end to the conflict and the death and the killing. But they're not doing that. They're not. Because the military industrial complex, like Eisenhower warned back in the 50s, is a machine. And if the people aren't aware of it, DM says mass pawns at play. Diaz, what's up, bro? Dan the Pilot, how you doing tonight? Prometheus, what's up, my brother? Still have not received summon shares. I haven't either, Prometheus. Me neither. On Fidelity today, I checked, not there. And then, like I said, I got shut down fucking going lit to the exchange early to try to buy shares so we could pump the stock up. I'm like, let's put this bitch past $14. Let's go. And I couldn't buy. And I don't know how many other hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of retail investors were shut out of the market today because Fidelity went down in the power hour. I mean, you might as well be Robinhood at this point and take away the buy button. And there is no difference. What's the difference? Rex tonight, what's up, bro? Oh, Moser? Go AMC, we got this. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say anything is awry right now. But if you look at everything that's going on, there may be some indicators that things are looking up. That's all I'm going to say about that. Matt said Fidelity went down for me also. Yeah, I mean, that's a big problem, right? If you got tens of thousands of retail traders who are wanting to buy AMC at a point to push us, based off supply and demand and price action, and if for a power hour we're completely locked out of the market, yeah, that really bothered me today. That's what got me all fired up. I'm like, I'm going fucking live tonight. I'm really upset. I don't like that happened. It's weird. It's happened twice in the last week for a company, Fidelity, who has, the utmost respect across the financial system, right? I mean, Fidelity is one of the most trusted names in the business. And in the last week, they've gone down twice for retail. Come on. Everyone else is buying but retail. Everyone's buying but retail. Right. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a glitch. Maybe it's maybe they really had a computer problem. They look a little outdated with their software. Some of their the website and the brokerage app does look a little outdated, but it should be trusted and tried and true, right? You should be able to fucking go on today. If I want to buy 100 shares of AMC at 1280, I should be able to execute that trade no matter what on any given day. It at first I thought it was weird that it happened at 3:30 today when we were just about to creep up on $13. But then see what happened in after hours. I'm like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. But it really bothered me. Jamie says, how's that yes vote? So Jamie, let me say this. The only way AMC survives this and any chance of any type of squeeze is if they can keep the shorts at bay. And if we continue to be $5 billion in debt and the actors stay on strike and the writers stay on strike, and maybe in 15 days, like this lady said earlier, let's watch this real quick. I'm going to pull this up. Just think about it for a second. What would happen if this actually became a reality?
Briefing, he pressed Korean Jean-Pierre on the response to Hurricane Ida's response to the Maui wildfires. Take a listen to this.
Okay, and it seems like the hurricane response so far is robust. Did you guys realize that the initial Hawaii wildfire response was not that good? Or is it just easier for people to get help from the White House?
Give me a second. I have the wrong clip pulled up. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Give me one sec, guys. History. I thought I had it queued up. I must have touched something before I came back here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Wow, I don't know where that clip went. Shit. Anyways, it was a clip from earlier today or yesterday from KJ Secretary for the White House. And they were asking about mandates and vaccines for this new COVID variant. Understand something, guys. If they go back into some type of mandate lockdowns, we're in big trouble. So to all the people, I'm trying to look out for the best interests for the future of this company, whether it's short term or long term. For all the retail holders who have been in this fucking play for 2+ years, right? I'm willing to do anything to say, hey, let's find some common ground that we can work on and say, this would. I'm willing to do anything to make this work. I saw some people talking about 290% short interest earlier from E-Trade. I don't know how much faith I would put in that. I don't know. But I know I wouldn't my vote right now, seeing everything that's going on in the greater global economy, in the political world. I wouldn't change my vote. I wouldn't. Dana, what's up, girl? I wouldn't change my vote. If they lock us down in 2 weeks, like KJP was saying earlier today, that they'll have a new vaccine out, a new booster for this new variant in 2 weeks. And I know I've heard the conspiracy theorists saying that Alex Jones came out and said he's heard from TSA guys and DEA that they're going to do lockdowns again. God forbid that comes to fruition. We're in big trouble as AMC shareholders. Not for MOAS, just fucking for getting wiped out. Now AMC's got bullets. We can hang in. We can play a little longer. We can see how this thing moves out. And I know everyone's not happy. I'm not happy, right? I didn't make $1 million. I'm not Trey. I'm not Matt Kohrs. I'm not Lou versus Wall Street. I didn't even convert my APE to AMC, my AMC to APE like I should have before the conversion. When I went to that courtroom, guys, Friday morning in Delaware, I knew the case was over. I knew it. One guy showed up Friday morning for that 10 o'clock appointment, and the judge called off everything at 12. I'm like, there's no way. She's letting this go through. Ain't happening. And I should have made a move right then, but I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so why am I going to start now, right? Lucy says, if they do lockdowns, will the power sending everyone stimulus checks? I don't know. I don't know, right? Will they? Well, because that led into some of this run from 4 to 72. Let's not forget. There was definitely some stimmy money that helped create that price action. Make no mistake. I saw a lot of people too talking last night on mainstream media about how retail's on the sidelines right now with cash, waiting to jump into the market and figure out like what's going on, where they want to invest right now. Hey, Harry Parrott. Yeah, just be wary, guys. There's Burry, Buffett, all of the geniuses seem to think we're coming into a recession. I mean, they're billions betting on tens of billions that we are headed for a recession next 6 months, right? Hillsy, what's up, girl? James Harris, what's going on? They'll have to put me in the camp. No. We rise up before that, bro. James, come on. Are we gonna have we're gonna make sure we have the all the apes here, they're going to help defend this country against not just improper, hedge funds taking advantage of retail traders or any of that. I'm talking about the government not protecting their constituents. Like, what is the point of the SEC if they don't follow through with what their job obligations are? Why are we sending Gary Gensler a check every week if he's doing absolutely nothing to help us? I mean, what's going on in the market? You just shut down Power Hour when a stock's up 20% in the last hour of trading. A stock that is number 7 in as far as trades go, knowing there's 9 million eyes on it. It's funny because I just got into like getting online and social media today, so I was able to follow like what everyone was doing from the time the market opened until we closed. And I was just tracking AMC all day, watching, just seeing, all right, where can I jump in? What, like, I was looking for, I want a repeat of June 2021. That's what I really want. But like 10x, and I'll be happy. I don't need a fucking MOAS. If you can 10 times my money after 2.5 years, all the shit we've been through, I'd be satisfied. I really would. At this point, I'd be satisfied. Adam Frank says it's going to be a sad Christmas. Pam, what's up, girl? Dr. Spurgeon, the surgeon says, crash imminent back. Oh, shit, that was fast. Hold on. Jamie says, I want my 8 money. Jamie, you have Fidelity too? Because I haven't got mine. Harry says, it's not a recession. If you compare the 32 today, it's getting comparable. So it's a depression. You're saying, Harry, right? DS says, let's move on, guys. I know both of you for tuning out. What, move on from AMC? I was about to buy it back in today at 1260. And then Fidelity went down. I'm like, I'm going to jump in right now. Let's get this bitch squeezing, right? I think I don't want to get everyone pumped up for something that may or may not happen. That would be the biggest mistake right now, right? Because we're all on edge. Our money's been depleted essentially, but the company has tightened up the ropes, right? So it's a much stronger looking buy right now for institutions, for retail, for everyone, right? Down 150 plus million shares. DM says it's depression. Bar getting full now. MOAS or bust, says lazy. James says, I'm doing Mike Berry. Buying soy puts. Dana says no takebacks. Family squabble with you, Diaz? Oh, man, sorry about that. Hope you worked that out, bro. Jana says, hi, I'm ready for global depression, ready for MOAS. Uwerk says, I came for the MOAS, but I'm staying in this play now because AMC has shown this is so much bigger than just a stock. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. To me, this has no longer become about a factor of money and profit. It's more principle, right? And I can agree with Adam Aron all day. I can be an ass kisser and a bootlicker and say, oh, he's the best ever. But I don't believe that. I don't believe he's the best ever. I think he made a lot of mistakes along the way to keeping his company upright and afloat during a unprecedented pandemic that maybe doesn't seem like a big deal to a lot of us. But when you go from, hundreds of millions of dollars per month to zero, that's going to have an impact on your company, right? K-May, what's going on? Lucy, Candace, BBD, Bell Creek Laser, and Jen in the house. Yeah, I just I felt like we got a little W today. Even if it really doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things. It was nice to just see that despite everything that's thrown against us on a daily basis, we were able to make some progress in the last 24 hours. And even in after hours today, what were we up right now? Pull up this fucking. Is this Ants Trades would say this is bullish, right? If Ants Trades, if he saw this, he'd be like, this shit's bullish. No, nothing as Ants. every time I go to share something with you guys, it slows down to a crawl. And I wanted to read you this article from Hollywood Reporter from last week. So they were talking to a bunch of actors and actresses, some writers about the strike and asking them what their thoughts were. I can't believe I closed it. Hold on. Here it is. All right, hang on, guys. Okay, got it. Okay. So, granted everything that's going on right now, I just want you guys to keep something in mind as we sit here on, what's the date today? The 30th? Yeah, 2023. 8:30. We're 24 hours from Johnny's big. So, here we go. This article is from Vox. Sorry. Trying to find the name of the website. Okay. Okay, here we go. So in this article, they're talking about the writer's strike, and I that were said, and this is again from Vox. It's titled, "It's Not Just Famous Actors Strikes Are Hurting." This production on television and movies has ground to a halt as a result, and there's no clear end in sight. The WGA and the AMPTP are at least talking again. SAG-AFTRA and the AMTIP aren't even doing that. The general consensus is that this is going to drag on, which has significant ramifications not only for writers and actors, but also for thousands of workers and business owners whose livelihood depends on entertainment, directors and production assistants, caterers and hairdressers, prop makers, drivers, dry cleaners, stores, and more. One person told me it's like you could shoot a cannon through some LA restaurants at this point. The strikes have already cost California's economy an estimated $3 billion. This is an industry directly that we own stock in. Okay. This strike, unlike previous strikes, has this unprecedented level of support from the unions that represent everybody, top to bottom level. Sorry, guys, the screen keeps changing. At which all the Hollywood is united to win. The fellas really hurting and most directly affected by its negotiations. The fate of this strike for down the road. So they're thinking. So everyone striking right now is thinking. They're not thinking short term. They're thinking long term, right? There are options for those who are really struggling as a result of the strikes financially to try to get support. The WGA and SAG have financial assistance available for the members most in need. So right now, SAG and AFTRA are funding all of the, set designers, prop workers. They're funding their menial lifestyle right now. On average, a week, not during the height of COVID, they would provide between 50 to 70 a week in emergency financial assistance. In July, they were averaging $500K a week, and recently that amount shot up to $700K. The organization's other support programs have seen a significant up too. Among certain strikes to celebrate this supposed summer of strikes, to applaud workers trying to stand up for their rights. I'm all about that, right? As a freedom-loving American who believes that you have a right to a union and the right to protest and everything else, and fair wages, I'm all about it, right? Strikes. It's exhilarating to see people on picket lines, to see kitschy signs, and hear the moving speeches from big-name actors. There's a reason these people have jobs. The realities of labor rights and the strikes are much more complicated and hard. Walking out of a job has a real financial for those doing the walking from and those who wind up clouded them out. She doesn't think that that's a likely scenario, but what if it is? One assistant director is confident agreements also wondered just how long it would 2024. So, again, the people who question why at the time I was still okay with the yes vote, it's because the future is so volatile right in this country and this market and this financial system. Every working piece, every tiny little screw that's thrown into everything that we've done for the last couple of years, it's all hanging in the balance right now. And this could be a major problem for the movie industry, for every theater company out there. So would I go back and change my vote now? No. That has nothing to do with today's price action. I care less about it. I mean, it was nice to get a little dub. I'm still down. Like, I didn't make up for all the losses I've had over the last 2.5 years. I couldn't even buy today when I wanted to. I couldn't go on my own brokerage account. Audio's cutting. Kevin, I'm not in a hotel, man. Is my audio cutting out? Let me close some things up. Button this up. Button this operation. All right, we should be good. Hang on one sec. All right, I think I said my piece. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to start pulling comments like crazy. So let me know, what are you guys' thoughts right now? Are you still traveling mass? Haven't caught you in a while. No, man, hold down for right now, for at least next 30 days. I have a temp work visa, and I'm good. Thanks, Kevin. I'm down to 73 shares right now. Yeah, me too. Audio. Me too, man. Yeah, I mean, we all woke up to the same reality, right? The shit went down. They did it. No, Pam married Prometheus? Get out of here. Dan, is that a joke? Dana says I'm not a law-abiding citizen, Carl. Dan's a rebel with a cause. Candace says California is the worst place for people to do business. Did Pamela? How many ounces of gold will you sell at current price? By the way, does anyone think that Adam Aron's going to take all of the money from dilution and possibly buy Highcroft and set them up with like a new drilling and manufacturing facility? And that's going to cost MOS? I hope not. I hope not. I saw some people talking about that earlier. Boom. That's right. Whoa. Bang. Yes, but with 73 shares, Bay Creek Lazy says, I'm in Bay Area and I agree with that statement. Damn, he better not. DS says, Hollywood are not the only movie producers. There are plenty of independent movies that are much better than Hollywood woke shy crap. Yeah, Diaz, I agree with you on that, right? But right now, everyone's on strike. It's not independent versus, mainstream. They're all on strike. Actors from the guys who get $10 an hour to be a background to Leo, right? DiCaprio. No one's working. Like, that's not even... I understand that there's the disagreement about, like, how to pay and how much people should earn for streaming and all that stuff and the AI consequences. And all. I understand. There's negotiations that have to be worked out, right? You're talking about people who are imperfect, who all have different opinions. You got to find some kind of common ground and come to an agreement, right? But if they're not doing anything, and here it is now, we're on August 31st. We're about to be in Labor Day, and we have, 6 months out of movies planned? Everything's getting pushed back. There's no post. There's no production. There's no editing going on. There's no music. They're not adding tracks. They're doing nothing. They're not filming shit. Nobody's working. No one in the whole goddamn industry in Hollywood. So if our main cash cow is good movie and they aren't making any movies, well, that's a problem. That's a holder. So just keep that in the back of your mind, guys, right? I'm not going to tell you anyone what to do with their shares, when to buy, when to sell. But just be aware of your surroundings and know that at any point, they could pull the rug and this thing could drop unbelievably. Just be cautious. Be careful. That's all. Pam, you got married? Lucy says AA needs to sell Highcroft. It's a no asset use of funds payoff. Wouldn't that seem like an embarrassment now if he sold at a loss? Right, Lucy? Like if he actually now was, and we're probably down, what, 50%? So he invested $22 million originally. Now it's 11. So he just wiped out 10 million. Thanks. I don't know if he's going to accept those facts yet. Dan says Pam broke my heart again. Pam, stop breaking hearts. Jenna says all the Eeps need to write movies. Problem solved. Yeah, I know, right, Jenna? It's sad too because a lot of us probably out here are pretty bright. They could probably write great scripts for these companies, but they would never give a second look. DS says bring back old movies. AMC one says I have a crap load of Highcroft calls. Hopefully they pay out. I hope they do for you, man. I hope so. I hope Highcroft strikes it unbelievably rich and they fucking blow up, and AMC just is unstoppable, and gold goes up to $3,000 an ounce, and Highcroft hits a vein, and they're like, oh my god, AMC holds half of this company, or maybe by that time they own all of it, and we have a huge find, and they can fully fund a facility to pull all the ore out and process it and fucking sell it. And if we're in the middle of a depression at that point and the dollar's down, gold's going to be up. So it's going to be worth a hell of a lot more. Maybe that's what it's going to be. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that, though. It could be. Adam says too many sad stock movies. This movie isn't over yet. AMC needs to go into deal with Riot Games and hold some of the tournaments there. I think a lot of things that the company is doing right now, I think are very balanced. I think they're level-headed. They are closing down non-profitable locations, beefing up and buying better locations. And, I don't know how long it will take for AMC to have a monopoly on, the movie industry in the United States, but I don't think that's a impossibility that they wouldn't be, just the brand name. Like they're the, Visa to MasterCard or whatever it is, right? And just AMC is everywhere. Like they're on the best theaters in the best cities that have bringing the best revenue. And after 3 years of cutting out all the shit and the waste and the things that are losing us money and buying profitable things and renegotiating debt and all that stuff, then we're in a much better financial situation going forward. But that depends on a lot of other things happening in our favor, mainly Hollywood, right? Going back to work, making an agreement with these greedy fucks in Hollywood who are the producers and the studios, right? Who are making 50, 100,000 percentage points more than their actors. King Louis's mass all hyped up. Just, being able to sit down today for the full day and watch the market unfold in front of me for the first time in like a year and a half, like really to just take it all in. I'm like, shit is not right for retail right now. Like, how is it possible that on a day when AMC is kicking ass, the Power Hour, the biggest broker for retail traders to go to the exchange, is inaccessible? And I'm sure it's not has nothing to do with AMC. Bad timing, right? I happened to jump on 3:30, and right when I jumped on to buy, they said my account was down. I couldn't get in. King Louis says, I got my settlement shares. The entity took them out of my account this morning. I'll be calling them tomorrow. 6 cents in Massalorian. I'll hold AMC for as long as I can. No, man. No. I'm not paper handing shit. Do you think I'd be coming on tonight if I was paper handing? I'm fucking. We got a little W today. I got a little pumped this afternoon. It was like, all right, I'm just gonna put up that I'm doing a live stream tonight. Because it was nice to get like a little W for fucking retail for once. We've been through the ringer for the last 2.5 goddamn years. We've got no wins. Everything's a loss. So when today finally retail has a chance to make a difference, to actually push the price, let's pump this bitch. Let's get her going. All of a sudden, I lose the ability to buy. Almost as bad as Aron has lost the ability to tweet. Unbelievable. Who said that? Bell Creek Laser. Hold on. I know exactly what to do with them. Come on, bro. You don't think I saw Judge Dredd? 1796 Patriot, man. Go back and watch the beginning of the video. I broke down what happened to Mass. It was a little emotional. But I'm all right now, man. And you know, I got fight in me. Like I still want to fight these guys. I think we still owe them a fucking smack in the mouth. The hedgies for shutting off the buy button back in January 2021. We still haven't gotten our revenge on that. Now, y'all, says paper hands are helping the hedge funds over. I honestly felt like today, I might as well have had Robinhood, where they won't let you, they take away the buy button. And you can say it's a glitch in the last 2 weeks. It's happened twice, weirdly, since AMC had a reverse split conversion. All of a sudden, Fidelity's closed down twice for an hour. Okay, maybe. But, you know, honestly, there could be more nefarious things going on. I don't know. I just want us to get some W's, man. I'll take any W we can get our fucking hands on right now. I'm so tired of L's. L's, dude. L's. We take L over L over L. Every goddamn one of us. Kicked in the teeth. Stomped on. I'm tired of it. It was hard coming out here, like, especially when I was on the last two. Well, I haven't been on 2 weeks, but before that, the 2 weeks before that, it was hard, man. It was depressing. But fuck them. Fuck them. I mean, maybe we can't beat them ultimately, but you know what? It's been 2.5 years. I'm sold. Why am I sell now? I lost. I'll take my chances now. Who gives a shit? I never invested more money than I could imagine losing, right? But to go buy in today, which is insane. I should have done that 2 weeks ago when ape was at $1.50. But unfortunately, I came over here and that whole thing happened with the detox and everything. I'm like, oh man, I can't look at a computer right now. I can't even see straight. Sweating. I was soaked from head to toe. It was a real heavy physical withdrawal. Real physical. I had like restless leg syndrome. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible. Damn, I wish I'd known that beforehand. I would have done it much better. Next time, well, hopefully there won't be next time. Don't you think it's a big sus they're removing shares from accounts during both? So, King Louis, I don't have any facts to back that up. I did see some people say that they hadn't gotten their shares yet. I know personally for me, I lost Fidelity to be able to trade today for an hour in the power hour. Yeah, I think it's a little bit sus. Yeah, for sure. That the biggest retail platform for trading during the power hour, where AMC, the biggest meme stock on the planet, is making a power move to all of a sudden eliminate all that buying pressure, must be nice, right? If you have that ability, just say, hey, bloop. Tommy B says 15,000 invested, 7,000 in my account right now. Still holding, ride to zero, emerge a hero. Yeah, right. Have no fear, the Greek is here. So Hodley, I finally got my 7 shares this morning. Good stuff. Who do you have for broker, Sahadla? King Louis says I have screenshots of them in my account and another today with them missing. Oh, so you had them accounted for on paper and then they went missing? So they actually added them and then subtracted them again? DM says going nowhere. Yeah. Dude, I watched the market like it was 2021 today. I was like, all right, I'm going to sit down right now and I'm going to get reinvested into this play. Like mentally, physically, everything. Like I'm just going to get back on the horse. I'm going to see what can be done differently. Like what are we doing wrong? What are we fucking up on? Like how are we missing some of these like red whatever it is we're missing, where we seem to think that we have a good understanding of what's going on, and all of a sudden get thrown for some kind of loop at the last minute, and no one can explain it. Like today, the short interest is what, 290%. So is that an E-Trade glitch? How many times can E-Trade glitch triple digits on a short interest? Until you start thinking that's kind of weird. Like why just you E-Trade? Candace says one of them are supposed to be down. Yeah, pro. Didn't I think one of the brokers got in trouble today. Andrew says those guys are all pissed because they pushed ARB and tried to get everyone to sell their AMC for ape, and that play totally failed. Yeah, that whole thing. So when that whole thing broke out, there was I mean, obviously in the AMC community, there was a lot of talk about that, right? I didn't really want to get too involved with that conversation, just because I'm like, I would just feel look, this is a bad business decision. What Mass did is very stupid, okay? Because he came on here and told you guys for weeks in the live streams that there's probably a good chance, after I went to the courthouse in Delaware and saw that the judge was unimpressed with the retail's rebuttals for the AMC ape conversion, I was demoralized. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this judge is this is gonna go through. This is gonna happen. And I should have done the smart thing, and I should have sold all my AMC, bought ape. I should have done that. And honestly, that was probably a mistake on my part, because I lost out on money for that, right? I lost out on money for, but to me, I'm like, that compared to, I bought shares at $4 in May, March 2021. They went to $72 in June. And I didn't sell. So am I really going to be that upset about this? Come on. 1796 Patriot says we haven't been wrong, in my opinion. AMC one says E-Trade is Morgan Stanley. They are awful. I don't have E-Trade. I closed them out, man. Froggy pushed like crazy. Not he's live streaming video games. Andrew, is he? I wish him the best, man. They're not everyone is willing to put their neck on the line every day, and I get it. Like there's and even in this industry of YouTube influencers and the fucking people talking about the stock. Like, granted, a couple of us that you guys know, like in this community, you guys all know we own the same shares. There's no goddamn reason I would be coming on this show right now. But I was mad today about what happened, but I was also excited. I'm like, all right, we got a little bit of a W, like just a little W, just a little. That's all I wanted. And then all of a sudden, they shut down the website for an hour, the brokerage account. Across the board, hundreds of thousands of retail investors unable to buy or sell shares across a broad platform like Fidelity, someone who's like, they are the gold standard in the retail investor community, right? GT says, why would I sell AMC? The shorts have to pay the dividends. Where the hell you been? So this is something someone was talking about earlier about the complaining that we should make sure that we have dividends in Q3. What was our total profit for Q2? I think dividends might be a little early for dividends. Can we make great strides with this company currently as it sits right now? Yes. And as long as retail continues to show up with a backbone and people who are willing to stay in this play and stay motivated and know that, we want to make a statement on this fucking thing. As he said, the shorts have to pay. Agreed. Mass play the Trump motorcade driving to Atlanta. Adam, that's crazy, right? That dude said his son went to school with, what's her name there? The DA, Annie Franks or whatever. She's full of shit too. Dude, people aren't getting fooled anymore. They're not. No one's fooled anymore. We're coming to a major turning point in this country's history, people. Make no mistake about it. One way or the other, things are going to change drastically for this country next couple of years. For the good or for the bad. I was hoping AMC was going to be my ticket to setting myself up for the rest of my life and not having to worry about relying on the government or another company to have to employ me, me have to take a vaccine if they decide that I can't work without it or put a fucking diaper on my face. I got into AMC so I would be independent. I would be wealthy, at least wealthy enough where I could take care of a family and live off the land and have a nice little spread. That's all I wanted, right? I wasn't asking to be greedy. Yeah, Ryan, that's a good question, man. I haven't seen it in Fidelity. I haven't seen it reflected. Webull, I have seen it reflected, not in Fidelity. PM Righteous says 2.5 years of a BS narrative that Robinhood was bad and to I know. And PM Righteous, here we are today, right? Sitting here on what? 8/30/2023, saying that Fidelity, who's supposed to have retail's back, has now dropped 2 power hours in the last 5 days. Remarkable. Again, I'm not saying it's on purpose or anything like that, but shitty because I was going to affect that price action at 330. There might have been 10,000 other retail investors out there waiting to hop on at 330 and push this bitch. And we all lost the ability to buy shares. That's a problem. King Louis says, please tell me you didn't do the diaper thing. The hell's the diaper thing? So Surgeon Princess, stop talking past tense. Man, Dr. Spurgeon, I didn't understand the market as well as I do now. When Adam Aron was talking about smart dilution back in 2021, I didn't understand what he was talking about. And I was looking past, I was looking for something that was above and beyond what was probably acceptable to happen, right? That if we gave AMC no shares, so their stock price goes from $4 to $70 a share, and then we cut them off at the nuts from being able to raise any capital off that. I mean, they had what, 20,000 shares? And listen, I was right there in the front with you guys saying no dilution, right? No, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. But looking back now in hindsight, as a older guy who's now taking some licks, right? I see what he was talking about a little bit because that could have avoided ape ever happening in the first place, right? No one's getting timed out, bro. When transparency, PM Righteous says. Is there anyone in chat right now that thought that Gary Gensler in the last 2.5 years was going to be the answer to retail? Did anyone buy AMC because Gary Gensler was the head of the SEC? He's going to make a difference? No. We all took a gamble, a risk, and we were a tight fucking community back in June 2021. We all had a solid mission. We had a focus, a goal. We wanted to wipe out the hedges, teach them so you can't fuck with retail, and don't close down the companies that we like, right? Don't go after companies that, whatever, Gen X and millennials were some of their most fondest memories growing up, right? AMC, GameStop, they're all great things, right? So we jumped in and we bit the bullet and we picked up shares and we saved their ass, right? It says AA should have given us another alternative on the vote. Yeah, Candace, that would have been nice, right? If we could have taken a real, like, on the books vote that we could have seen, not something that just came out in a shareholders meeting, that would have been nice, right? Kevin says, when is the last time GG addressed this? He moved on to crypto. Yeah, he's not even talking about the market, man. He's not even talking about retail investors really anymore. Headstock Ham, what's up, bro? JT Wisco, what's up, my brother? Thomas B. Yeah. Gary Gensler came from Goldman Sachs, dropped the mic. And yeah, and PM, who's his half brother is what's his name out of the fucking SEC? Mash, you bring the community back together. Thank you, at least in this corner of the internet. Carl, we got a small corner, man, right? But I'll still keep coming out here as long as you guys are going to show up and talk with me. As long as I'm not in an empty screen, I will show up and hang out with you guys anytime. We can talk about whatever you want. You know that. I think this revolution is bigger than just the stock market. I think a lot of people in this play had bones to pick well before January 2021 when they took away the buy button. With the stock market, with the government, with the securities exchange, with everybody, right? Fucking us over year after year from, the early 2000s all the way up to now. This transfer of wealth that's gone on, kicking people out of their homes while the banks get to keep the properties. We have been fucked 5 ways from Friday by this government in the last 12 years. And, a lot of us were hoping this was our ticket out. So, and, maybe I should have sold at 72. Maybe that was stupid. Maybe I just didn't understand how powerful the market was when it came to affecting price action, especially if retail's a 90% holder of the float. I don't understand how that happens, but is anyone really going to get in trouble? If we don't squeeze, who's going to get in trouble? It ain't going to be Gary Gensler. It ain't going to be Adam Aron. Kyle says we're seeking this shit. Yeah, no, I'm tired of it too. I'm through and through a patriot more than anything else. Like, I love this country. I love the documents that back it, the government it represents. But the people who are in the government right now are failing us big time. And we can sit here and yell at Adam Aron and everybody else that's been involved in this play, but it has come from the top down, my friends. It has. We can't deny it. From the day that Jen Psaki was leaked online that her brother worked at Citadel and they got a call that it was going to wipe out his portfolio and shut it down. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. Glenn Greenwald reported on it. Don't know. But here we are again. And we might not win this little battle that we're in right now. I don't know. I can't tell you sure. But it's been, how long have we been holding the stock? All right, so March of 2021. What's that? 26 months? 26 months? Why am I going to sell now? Now, don't get me wrong. If we run to $50 tomorrow, I'm out. I'll tell you guys right now. If tomorrow we run to 50, Mass is out. Bye-bye. I'm picking up 1,000 shares in the AM. I hope to God that happens tomorrow. You go. Ghost. Hey, Chico EMC. Good to see you too, man. Yeah, I'm doing some ranting, man. I'm sick and tired of the system. I'm sick and tired of the abuse. Again, I'm not saying Fidelity did anything. I'm not saying that was to fuck over retail or AMC or anything like that. But that was really frustrating because that was the first time I got back into the market since the reverse split. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get out here. I'm going to help my people, right? Let's get some buying pressure going. Let's get lit to the exchange. Let's go into Fidelity. And I go log on and I can't log on. How can we beat these people if we're not allowed to trade? Plethora Blade says, did Tony DeNiro sell his shares? None of my business, but he's kind of quiet. No more ANC on his channel. Did Tony sell all his shares? I don't know what Tony sold exactly, but I talked to Tony about AMC twice today. So I called him after the market open. I was talking to him about option contracts, calls for AMC. We were discussing where's Adam Aron been. Look, anything that pertains to AMC, Tony. He's got a little more experience than me, so I like to run things by him when I'm making decisions about how I'm going to play this going forward. And like I said, at 3:30 today, when it was down around 1260, I said I'd like to get in right now. If I could grab a bunch of this right now, maybe I could skip out and make a little money. Just at least take a little off the top, just to get something back for all the goddamn I put in. I like to just take a little, right? And next thing you know, I can't buy, and it's up to 13.6. So it runs in the 12%. And by that time, what's the point? Mr. Masher alive. How's your brother? Jesse, how you doing, man? I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. Bell Creek Laser says I was a fan until he sold. Listen, man, if I was smart, I would have done what Tony did. That was the smart play. What I did holding was not the smart play. I'll be honest with you guys. That's not a smart investor, a retail investor, what I did. Oh, 1796 Patriots says Mass Pantheon. I've been trying to get Pantheon on the horn for like 2 weeks, bro. Trying to track that guy down. Where is he? Pantheon, you in chat right now, bro? Text me right now. My phone's on. I've sent you my number like 10 times. Where are you? AA histories through the brokers. When MMTLP exposes the sham, the rest of dominoes fall. MMTLP is a problem, right? For the exchange, for the market, for everyone. That is a fucking big problem. Kevin says, I'm trying to exist at a little and we'll buy back and die. Yeah, right. That's what I said. Like today, when I started around 1260, I'm like, dude, there's a good possibility this thing could still have a little run in it right now, especially if there's some excitement, maybe some institutional buying coming in. Who knows, right? So I haven't been able to take profits yet. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can get in today at 12.5 and maybe sell, a little way down the road, keep all the shares that I bought before, but trying to make a little money right now, right? I need to survive. I can't not play the market at all. So I'm trying, all right, what does the TA match up with what's going on right now in the broader market, with what's going on in the company, the bottom line, the numbers, what we're doing in August 2023, how will Q3 be? What's the forecasted EPS for the company for the next 12 months? We have cash on hand, all that stuff, right? Now he also says, don't be weak. No, man, I just want to turn some profit today. I want to go in today, buy some shares, and sell them tomorrow or Friday. That's all. Nothing I bought in the last 2.5 years. Just, I was going to buy today. But Fidelity wasn't running for 90% of retail investors. So that probably hurt us. And no, y'all, it's not trying to be weak. I'm trying to help with buying, right? I'm trying to help apply that so we can push through, right? Break some barriers, some numbers, 801, 1301, doing that. We smashed all the way to 72. We got to keep busting that right now. Like I'm trying to be in with my community, with all of you guys, putting buying pressure on. Let's fucking run the shorts out of town and take this stock back. Maggie, have a good night, Dawn. Thank you. I will relax. It's the first time I've been on for two weeks, so I'm probably a little amped up. Carl says, buy blood. Maggie, have a good night. Kevin says, profit. Yeah, man. I mean, look, if we're not in this for profit, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, it's got to be a combination, right? Okay, we can fight the hedgies and the corruption and still make money at the same time, right? We got to be able to do that. If not, then we're dead in the water. Yeah. I know about Creek. Yep. That's a problem, man. It's a problem. I don't know how we address that as retail investors with literally no legislative power. I don't know how we address that unless we get an ape into Congress. We need to get an ape into Congress. Not an ape. We just need a retail investor who has 2 cents about him, who could say, no, that's bad for retail. We can't do that, right? If someone could get in there and make these guys understand what's going on, there is a reason they are allowed to continue to put this pressure on retail to suppress, to do all this. This has been going on for decades. This isn't a new game they've been playing. They've been honing their skills and taking every technological advantage they can to fuck retail. Jen, I swear to God, if in the next year I come back and there's some position for Congress in some desolate town out in in the Midwest that I could possibly, like for 500 people in it, that I could possibly swing 250 people to vote for me, I would do it just to get into Congress, put the law in, and then the day that the law was signed, I would walk out. I walk out the door, give up my position. Someone else can take it. Okay, I will, Hilsey. I'll check it. Kevin says, get rich quick. Didn't work 2 years now. Okay, well, you're right, Kev? Get rich quick didn't work because we bought in at 4, it ran to 72, and we held through. So that didn't work. Get rich quick didn't work, obviously. Now we got to start thinking with our heads, and I should have done that 3 weeks ago when I knew this was going to happen. When I left the courtroom that day in Delaware and no one showed up to testify, I should have known deep in my bones this thing is going through. So take advantage of whatever possible way that you can to make some money. Okay, I will. Kennedy from Louisiana, 1796 Patriot. He's in his late 70s, right? He's got to be really ingrained with Wall Street. No matter if he's a Republican from Louisiana or wherever they're from, they got to have some connects with the lobbyists, right? In DC, with that much rooted, roots in the swamp. I mean, Kennedy's been along, and I love Kennedy as a politician. I think he speaks very well, and I like things that he says about this country. But as far as him taking a stand for retail over Goldman Sachs, I don't see that. I don't see anyone doing that besides a retail investor. I really don't. And I would back any retail investor who wanted to run for Congress just to get that one fucking bill on the floor. Here's the things we do. No more PFOF. No more trading for public officials, government officials. 0. If you do that, you go to jail, no matter what, 1 year mandatory sentence. If you are a politician and you play in the stock market and things that you are buying and selling are affected by policies that you influence, 365, you should do a year in jail no matter what. And guess what? A lot of politicians will stray clear of that because it's not worth it to sit in jail for 365 days, especially for Nancy Pelosi or Mitt Romney. Billy says that was shocking to me too. I thought we'd at least have 150 people would show up to in Delaware. So Billy, there was 2 of us in the courtroom. The only other person that I recognized in the courtroom in Delaware was Avi from Twitter. He was sitting behind me in the courtroom. But I knew that day, man, that we had lost this fight. I knew it. I walked out of the courtroom. I was bumming. I remember it was hot. I was walking up to my hotel room from the courtroom. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, this shit's going to happen. So, Johnny, make sure you plan out your future based on what you saw and witnessed today. And I didn't, right? And that was fucking stupid. Nick says, when you get back, it's a strong community. This yes, no voter. Yeah, man, that's the biggest thing, right, Nick? Like, this whole thing with Abe and Adam Aron really split the community. Like, we were all on the same mental and physical path in June, July, August of 2021, right? There was no split or breaks at all in the community. It was nice, right? We all felt like we had, and we're watching these guys go on national TV, which for us was a bad thing, right? That eventually became Trey and Matt. I mean, fuck. Of all people. 2 guys who, I don't even think Matt acknowledges that AMC exists. And I don't know where Trey is. 11:25 here, EST Mass. Love watching when I can, but the other half is dragging me in. Night all. USA should find politicians. Shout out from Canada. Hey, man. Much love, Kevin. Thank you, bro. Have a good night. The Mitch glitch. This is embarrassing. This is getting embarrassing. How is nobody calling this out? Between McConnell and what's her name there from California? You gotta be kidding me. I mean, this is, it's almost like a running joke at this point. They're not voting from what their constituents want. They're voting from what their handlers are whispering in their ear. Patriots and traitors. That's it at this point. As far as I'm concerned, you are either a patriot of this nation or a traitor. Trey is hiding in cooling, Gladman pays Discord trading options. The judge didn't even ask any questions. I know. I know. But Billy, the morning I went in there, the Friday morning at 10, there was one guy that showed up out of what? There was supposed to be like 14, 15 witnesses to go there and testify. One guy showed up, and then the judge called it. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, she is smelling bullshit here. She's going to say, I knew it, man. I knew it in my bones. Part of the reason why I want to go there. Vivek will address the age thing in Congress, says Frozen State Productions. Sue Fan, what's up, man? Hey, the Massalorian, what cost average do you think would be? Next run up. Oh, man. Sue Fan, who knows, man? We ran the stock from $4 to $72 back in June 2021, right? On not so different circumstances that we're seeing right now. We're not 100% replicating what we saw then, but it's definitely been very interesting seeing it come down and then jack back up today until about 3:30, and then we kind of leveled out, right? At 3:30, which is hilariously when all of a sudden Fidelity, the entire fucking website went down miraculously. Unbelievable. For the best retail company ever existed. Sufyan, man, I'm not here to bullshit you guys. Bro, I can't. I don't have it in me, man. Dave says, ought to give apes to distort the short distractions. What if maybe just AA is silent because they're pressing price? Well, why wouldn't he come out today and speak then? We just had 20% rip by 10:30. And we held that almost till the fucking end of the day. He should be out saying, wow, that's great. We're happy with the way things are going. We're great that retail is getting involved. Whoever's buying, whether it's institutions, not a word from one of the most talkative CEOs in the history of retail trading has all of a sudden lost the ability to speak. It's unbelievable. But you know what? I did say earlier to Tony today, I said, you know what? Sometimes Aron opens his mouth and I'm not happy with what comes out. So maybe he is better just shutting up sometimes. If they're working on something, if they are busy right now with some back deal doors going on, with some things they're working out on trying to make the best to their ability with the capital now that they have at their disposal, right? That could be a very intense negotiation that's going on for the last couple of days. And it's very possible that we might hear something in the next couple of days about a big move. I just don't know. And I can't say that, right? But it better not be by Highcroft. I'll fucking snap. I'll kill AA. Food Dog says, Mass, read Rule 201 Reg Show. That's why AA doesn't say anything. Yeah, right. And look, I gotta say this, right? Because I saw Mike the Marine made a video earlier today again about AA and that conversation in the parking lot. Mike, just put that tape up, man, the whole one. Drop the whole tape. Every ape in the fucking world to hear it. I think you should play it from beginning to end, upload the entire tape so people can really get a context of what that conversation was like at the time it was happening. Because if you just pull those snippets out and throw them in your videos, a lot of conjecture can be made from that, right? That small out of context statement. Okay, that doesn't, just because Aron does synthetics, maybe is that loose synthetics or whose synthetics are we talking about? We're talking about rehypothecated shares? What are we talking about, right? Or just naked shorting? What exactly are synthetics? Sufyan says, Super Steven is right. I think most people have too high of a cost average. Oh my God. Sufyan, mine's off the charts right now in Fidelity. It was crazy. I thought it was a mistake. I woke up this morning and looked at my brokerage account. I'm like, what? What's my cost average? Oh, fuck. Yuka says, Migs. JT Wisco says, Pam the trade, a long time no see. My guess is the mass is back in. No, man. No, I'm still on the West Coast. I'm going to be here for a bit. I'm trying to up across the Pacific to I'm trying to get to Thailand. And we're doing late nights from there. Frost, Pakistan, aka Canada. Dave says, I think he announces a bombshell report that dilution is done. You know, I would love to go down that road with you and maybe, entertain that thought, but that is That would not be very responsible of me to do that, right? Because we just have fucking no idea what's going on. I have no clue. And I shouldn't try to fucking tell you guys. Honestly, right now, I wish I had said back a couple weeks ago, hey, do this. Because I think after I was in the courtroom that the judge is fucking seeing through some of the drama. And that, just people got a little over emotional. That the C-suite didn't violate any SEC regulations or rules. They did some shady backhanded tactics in order to implement their strategy. But did they break any laws? I don't believe so. So it's tough, right? I'm jacked tonight, baby. I'm really upset, man. I'm pissed. I'm pissed I wasn't able to buy today at 3:30. That fucking really made me mad. Like, dude, you can't take the buy button away from tens of thousands of retail investors when our stock is going off the chains. We're trying to pump the bitch. Like, how the fuck does that happen? Oh, Yuka. I'll just grab them like Trump said. I'll find out beforehand. I would never let that happen. Because that would be ugly for the other individual. They wouldn't want that. If I ever got tricked that bad, it wouldn't end nicely for that person. I'd be a fugitive forever. Dan says, I'm back in California for good, Dan. Good stuff, man. Yeah. I don't want to go down conspiracy theory road that the short interest is 300% on E-Trade, or that Fidelity just shut down the website, the whole brokerage app, and eliminated any trading for retail for Power Hour on a day that AMC is running percent. I mean, either they are completely against us and this is fucking completely rigged, or we just have really bad luck, guys. And we thank God we continue to show up because we keep fighting. They haven't knocked us out yet. Yeah, Jen, I'm going to try in the morning. I'm going to try first thing in the morning. Dorm room? No. So my best friend lives here and allowed me to set up here for a little bit until I figure out what I'm doing and make this my studio. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, that's why I'm up here, Yuka. All right, Pam. So me, you, and Prometheus are moving to Thailand. Beautiful. Let's go. I'm ready to go. I need 3 more weeks to save up and then I can go. I can get a flight out. Billy says we could always call Fidelity for any broker and place trade that way. No, yeah, I could have probably called my broker. Yeah, I probably could have. But then the longer that I sat there, it continued to fucking rise. And then we're going into after hours. I'm like, now we're breaking 13 and I still can't buy? What is going on? No, Yuka. I wish. Just friends. Just my best dear friend in the world. Yeah, she is amazing. She's an amazing person. I'm completely blessed to have her in my life and have her such a good friend to allow me to come here and do my thing with you guys. Hey, Tony, how you doing tonight? I gotta say, I the last couple of days, man, just hearing people squawking on the internet. There's been a lot of squawking going on between YouTubers, influencers, whatever you want to call them, retail shareholders, traders. There's been a lot of talk. And there's a lot of finger pointing going on, right? Maybe up until late this afternoon, about who's to blame for what we've seen happen to our play, our short squeeze play, as Frankie likes to say, right? Who's really at fault for what we've seen? The complete dismantleization of our entire hypothesis about, the naked shorting and the rehypothecation, the FTDs. Either none of it is real, and we are all just fucking completely delusional, and the SEC will continue to turn a blind eye to it as long as they can, with other people breaking down the fucking front door. We're never going to know. Like a little more finger banging going on right now, Yuka. I could use a little more finger banging. PD Harris, what's up, man? Glad to see you too, man. Good to see you too. Good to see you still here. And it was just a nice, the smallest of W's today, just to see a chart that looks halfway fucking decent for a stock that should, depending on how you look at it, is, well, I can't say that. We'll talk about that another time. Fair market value. JT Wisto says we are fuck bottom line. Well, if we are, I'm going down with the ship, man. At this point, I'm fucked with everyone else. Too late for me. I already did the reverse split and everything else is done. So I'm in the same boat as everyone else. There were a couple things. So as I was sick the last couple of weeks, and I was kind of just staying off of the internet and listening and observing what's going on. People screaming about lawsuits, and they told me to do this, and these guys influenced me to do this, and they told me to buy this at this point. And I was like, you know what? I think for 2 weeks, I can just stay away from YouTube and not influence one single person on doing anything. They can make up their minds entirely on their own and will never come back to haunt me and say, Mass, you said we would be at 20 by Friday. There's a lot of different YouTubers out there right now. There's YouTubers out there right now who are making a ton on getting views, right, from Google ads. No matter what they say about AMC, there will be a majority or a minority of people who will watch them faithlessly, religiously. Like if you look at Thomas James, he's getting like what 10 to 15,000 views every video, saying the same thing over and over and over again, right? So there's that YouTuber who he might own shares. I don't know. He didn't start talking about AMC until June 2021 when we ran. And I remember saying back then, you know, listen, everyone who's out here still right now holding your shares, do a little digging into the YouTubers, right? Go back and see, were they in this from April, May, February of 2021? Like, did they come in right after January? Or these people who bought and are now already holding shares that they paid 17, 18, 20 bucks for? Or are they like people like us who bought them back at $4 or $5 in February and March, right? And that distinction was going to be important going forward. It was going to be important because what they were going to divulge for information, they were going to try to do the best to affect their position. And if you are at a loss and you bought in, like, say, Ape Father at 54 in June of 2021, on the other side of 72, I mean, look, I don't know. I might have pulled my own fucking card at that point. If I bought in at $54 a share, 1,100 shares the first day, I might have pulled my own fucking card by now. I'm not even joking. I might have taken a swan dive right off the Port Mann Bridge around the corner. So I get it. But I will say there are a couple guys out in this community, and I think you guys know who they are, who do care about retail, who are retail investors, who want to see the best for us, who want AMC to still squeeze, who want AMC to still do well fundamentally, who want Adam Aron to stop being, so aloof and fucking cryptic with his texts and messages and all that shit. Like, just come out and fucking tell us how it is, Adam, you know? I don't want to hear checkmate and 4D chess and all this bullshit. Just let me know what's the bottom line is with the company. Are we going to make it or not? Can we fucking flush these shorts out for good and push this bitch up or not? Like, maybe we have one more shot to do this. I don't know. This might be the last shot we have at it. The community that we have left, this smaller community that's here now, right? It's not the trades, the Mac Cores, the Lou versus Wall Streets, the TMIs, the short the VIX, Avi, B. There's a million, right? Maybe we got one more shot at this. So I'm still in the game. Sufjan says Tony De Niro is the GOAT. I agree, man. Tony has done, he's never done me wrong, man. I gotta say that. From the minute I met the gentleman, he's always been 100% straight with me. Everything he says. I feel the most comfortable talking with Tony than any other person. And I don't know why that is, but Dave Baja, a question you already know the answer. Right on, brother. You are just hanging on for a banana tree falling from a tree. Emmanuel, I don't think that's going to happen, bro. He's not going to promise no dilution this year. Maybe, possibly. if we could pull out a profit on Q3, if we could finish this month with another 600 million in receipts, I think that's what we need right now to be able to turn a profit this quarter. Maybe, right? But he can't. We've been denying this man dilution for years, bro. Think about it. We've been saying no. You cannot dilute. You cannot dilute. And what do we keep doing? Increasing our debt, making us look more juicy in the eyes of the shorts, whatever you want to say. Hasn't been working. They don't want the market to crash. They cannot afford the derivatives. Vin Cool says irony is the AA DM says CEOs need to open their business again. Dan the Float says, Tony, I sold and bought back in yesterday. Lucy, I love you. Don't talk about chopped liver. How dare you? He says new trades have been the most emotional and loudest. And Dave, I get it, right? And there's probably a lot of people in our community who this was their first time ever buying any stock, any stock, right? This is the first ticker they ever owned. Might be the only ticker they've ever owned. And I think there's something to be said with that in this community, right? I think that really draws us closer together with this financial, bond that we have that we want to win, right? Chris says, Chris, how you doing tonight? I would love just to break. I know. Only ones that made money. I know. I couldn't even imagine. Can you imagine me shorting AMC and then coming on here and talking, hey guys, what's going on? You said Tony made the smart move when he was pushing the stock for a long time and then paper-handed. Fat Mac, I don't think Tony was pushing the stock. I don't think so. I don't think Tony was pushing the stock. I think we looked at fundamentals. We looked at the earnings every quarter that they would come out. We were looking at what the box office revenue was. We've been talking about this for 2 years on here. We haven't been talking about MOAS, and we're going to be so fucking rich. This thing's going to squeeze tomorrow, and the DTCC is this, and Gary Gensler's that, and transparency this, and all these dates and all this other shit. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I think that our goal was from the first time that we spoke was let's just present the facts to the best of our ability to our audience to help all of us, right, in this endeavor. That was the plan. And I know a lot of people have issues with some of the things that he said, and I don't want to get into about any of that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, Tony has been the most solid with me from the first day I met him. There's no other person that I would, confide so much of my personal life with. He's a pretty solid guy, so I'm not going to talk shit about him. Fat Mac says, yes, he was. The movies ever. Fat Mac, we like the movies, dude. You get it, right? Me and Tony, we were in film school. We went to school to learn how to write, direct, act. Like, we're movie fans. We're fanatics. We like that, right? We're a big fan of AMC, the company. Like, I'm still so to go see Napoleon in a couple weeks. I want to go see a fucking huge ass battle on a big IMAX screen, right? I'm really excited about that movie coming out because I just want to see people killing each other. Don't ask me why. But I'm looking forward to going to IMAX theater at AMC and seeing Napoleon, right? Joaquin Phoenix. I think that's gonna be pretty slick, as long as they keep to the historical content. But yeah, we're all fans of the movies, man. We like AMC. We liked the company. We thought the stock was at a good end to buy it, right? $4, $5, $6 a share. When we're coming off a year with revenue under $1 million. I mean, fuck, we can only go up from there. Come on. That's a no-brainer. You buy those shares at $4.21. You buy them. Get your hands on. The stock was at $31 2 years ago before the pandemic. Don't tell me somewhere close back to there after we recover. And even take on additionally with the woke bullshit and Disney and fucking Indiana Jones and Star Wars and everything else that's totally fucked us, right? Pixar, Buzz Lightyear doing 100 million instead of $1 billion. That's $900 million, right? So how much is that in concessions? Think about it. I mean, if you want to, you might be able to single-handedly blame Disney this year for losing $900 million. Granted, it didn't affect AMC that much, but eventually it will. If they can't afford to keep the place operating and the studios open and people drawing. Have to respect TD, even if you don't agree, he's mature. Yeah. And I talked with Tony about everything he was going to do. We discussed all of it, right? I'm not going to divulge that information. But yeah, of course we talk about things about the market. Tony's not allowed to take in his money. Trust me. He's not worried about tricking anyone into buying AMC shares. I promise. Neither am I, for that fact. Phil, what's up, man? Burgess in the house. Kiwi girls here. Dave, you can still push a stock and get blocked. I've got one. Why did Napoleon eat chicken? Wait, hold on. History question? All in. DM, write that one more time. Because I can't see it now. Adam and the board all got shares after the reverse split. All right, so is that talking about Al from Boston's video? Is that what you're referring to, Phil? The one he put out last night about the board? If I'm not mistaken, that was just the version. So that was showing the numbers prior to what took place the other day. That's how I understood it. S. Jackson S says, Tony, now, if it makes you feel better, I got to thank you for giving the show and calculated conversations about values of stocks. Thank you. I thought I was gonna have to go back out and fight again. Thanks, Jackson. Tony says AMC financials are a wreck. Yeah. We're trying to help find solutions, right? We've been doing that for a long time. How can we make AMC more profitable? We're not getting the support that we should be getting from Hollywood. They're fucking us hard right now. Like, make no mistake about it. They've cost us hundreds of millions of dollars this year in revenue. Believe that. Yuka says, mass calm. Yuka, if you got shrooms, I'm calling you right now, bro. We're about to trip out in the woods. I'll pick you up in 5. Hold on. Is that your real number? Why the hell are you putting that on fucking chat log? Jesus Christ. You want me to call you right now? Tony, in your opinion, are we improving? We've had the first profitable quarter in 2 years, right? By a couple cents. Look at projections. Look at next 12 months. Let's say the writers and actors continue to strike. So nothing's in production. There's no filming going on. There's no editing. That whole market industry is shut down. Let's say that lasts till Christmas. Now we're back almost a year in production. How is that going to affect the stock that you own, AMC, when their very lifeblood depends on good producing content and good content that puts asses in not the most comfortable chairs sometimes. Some of the theaters suck, right? You got to force them in there. 1796 Patriot, bro. You bring the shrooms, we're doing it, everybody. I'll get the whole community in the woods. From beginning, Fat Mac says from the beginning it was a financial. Yeah, Fat Mac, COVID was a disaster for this country and for a lot of American companies, a lot of American families. COVID was a fucking disaster. Those lockdowns were barbaric. They were unconstitutional, and it cost us a great deal across the board, from the movie industry to the guy who owns True Value down the street, right? That I get nails from. Like, yeah, we got in right after the pandemic was cooling down, and we were starting to see people. Remember the first movie that came out was Kong vs. Godzilla. We kind of rode that up into that whole thing going into June. And then from there, it's been a struggle, right? We had that one wonderful or two pumps in early 2021, and since then it's been a struggle. Has money figured out how to keep us at bay? I'm sure, right? There's probably days where they've had the upper hand on us. There's probably a couple days where we've taken them by surprise, right? And maybe they weren't planning for a run like we see. Now, whether that occurred this week, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to pretend to anymore because that would be bullshit. Because I have fucking no idea. I'm just trying to keep my own goddamn head on straight right now. Never mind what someone at Fidelity is doing. 3,000 miles from here. Plandemic. Headstock Harem. I remember my cousin sending me a video in the 21. There was a guy in London. He was talking at that famous place where people go to speak in the park there. And he was screaming, saying that this is unprecedented. They would never tell a nation or a democratic society that you have to lock down for any certain period of time. And at the time, I didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh, man, this is just some kook, right? What is he talking about? Like, what is he talking about? But the more you look into everything that's transpired since the outbreak, it just makes too much sense. Look at how much they've been able to wield, how much power they've been able to wield over the people, right? A body of under 500 people can control the masses on a planet-wide, scale. And we sat there and fucking said nothing. All of us, the real tough patriots who supposedly that we are, right? We didn't do jack shit. We didn't do anything. January 6th was a failure. If that was the best chance at insurrection, we're fucked. That's our best chance of throwing these fucking clowns out of DC. We're in trouble. I hope we got better recruits next time that happens. People actually bring their guns with them. That's the only way you're gonna cause an insurrection. I can do it with harsh language and shock and Not gonna fall for it again. Enough is enough. Do not comply, says Mike. Yeah, no fucking way, man. No way. No way America sits down and takes this again. There's no way. If they try to do this in the next couple months, all hell's gonna break loose. We're gonna go hot so fast. I think the left and the right, the lines will be so blurred we'll be able to see to differentiate between who's who. I hope it doesn't happen, man. I love this country. I love all of the people of this country, right? I love the planet in general, humankind. But I have a soft spot for America. I'm an American. It's the country I grew up in. It's the country I grew to love and think was the best possible government that mankind can produce on earth other than God's, right? Other than Jesus and the heavenly kingdom. The best kingdom you can replicate that here on this planet is the Constitutional Republic that we have in this country. And that's why we are so fucking diversified, more than any other place on the planet. There's no way you can go in this world that's so diverse as the United States. Nowhere. It's beautiful. No, Emmanuel. Military participated with getting people locked up. Who that day? They riled people up. Government agents were on the ground. We know that now. We don't know how many, but at least over 40 or 50 government agents were on the ground during January 6th, letting people in the fucking buildings. Your job as a congressman is not to hold back information from the people. You are supposed to divulge every piece of information that you possibly can, unless it is protected on some kind of security clearance. And being inside the Capitol on a CCTV unit with a police officer opening the door for Jacob Chanless, and then realizing a year later that they were making this guy out to be the next Charles Manson, and in reality, he just walked into a building and had the door open for him and prayed for the cops. Wow. What a fucking sham, man. What a sham. on by a thread right now in this country. They just told some kid the other day, I think in South Carolina, that he couldn't wear a Gadsden flag on his backpack because they said it was racist. A Gadsden flag? Joy or die? How's that racist? Hey, Tony, thank you, man. You don't have to do that, T. Cal just said, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. What, the U.S.? Me neither, man, but we got to take our country back. We're losing it every day. It is sliding out of our grips as a nation, as a body of like-minded individuals who love their freedom and love everything this country represents. They're snatching it from us, and we are allowing them to do it. And I felt it today when the brokerage went down. I'm like, man, I don't like that feeling, that helpless feeling when you see opportunity and you can't execute. Like you feel like someone's trying to take it from you, even though that's probably not what happened, right? It was probably just a stupid glitch that Fidelity programming or whatever's on their backside. Like, come on, let's get it together now, Fidelity. You're one of the most profitable banking entities to ever exist in humankind, and you don't have a proper online brokerage system that doesn't fail every 48 hours. Come on, do better. Okay, you got shrooms? I'm gonna send you the ads, bro. We'll chill all night. Carl says, I love being American. Don't care what the world thinks. I don't care what the world thinks. No one could ever beat us in a fight. I'm never that never concerns me. And everyone in this country right now could live off the land that we have. So as long as we kept everyone else out, we'd be fine. I have no doubt that America would find common ground to fucking make it work. You know, my cousin called me earlier today and we were talking about the country in the last 2 years and how crazy everything has just changed, right? Everything's flipped on its head. As a woman to a woman as a man to, you know, the new face of white supremacy is black Republicans. Larry Elder is the new face of white supremacy. Really, Larry Elder? Really? I mean, it's a little disheartening that our own media, our government, our social media, they all want us to fail, right? They all want to keep their boot on our necks. And they've done a damn good job of doing it for the last couple of years. Whether it's the Twitter files or whatever. They've managed a way to suppress information to, you know, how did they have former intelligence officers from the United States government say that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian propaganda? After seeing those pictures of Hunter Biden sniffing coke and smoking crack, 14-year-old Filipino girls, that wouldn't just a little bit make you concerned to want to look a little deeper? I mean, it's amazing the double standard we're seeing going on right now. It's amazing to me. I don't want to be the type of American that doesn't give a fuck. We invade everybody. So Chico, AMC, I agree with you, man. I'm not talking about the government or the military or anyone making those decisions. I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about us, the people. I'm trying to keep those two separate, man, for real. That's completely separate to me. What the oligarchy in the United States government is doing right now, both sides of the aisle, whether the Republicans or Democrats, who have been there for years, who have been there for so long that they can't even make up their own mind how they want to vote. They have to have their handlers tell them how they should vote. And then they start giving reasons after they affirmatively vote on why it's a bad idea. If you didn't see that with Dianne Feinstein the other day in Congress, it was amazing. She actually was starting to make her own argument on why it was a bad vote to vote yes. Put more money to Ukraine. It was unbelievable. Kelton. So when I was coming across the country from Boston out here, almost everyone I spoke to said we need to do term limits in Congress. Almost everyone I spoke to, from The highest educated person I met to the lowest spoke about term limits in Congress. So I can't agree with you more on that. Long, cozy life in silence. Man, I tell you, that mugshot, when I first saw Trump's mugshot, I said, okay, this is either going to be the photo that seals the fate of the Republicans, or it's going to seal Trump's fate. Because that face, that scowl he has, looks like I'm going to be coming for you, and I'm bringing hell with me. So get ready. Like that's, I'm sure he practiced that in the mirror for hours. And hell's coming with me. Yeah. Fury, right? I mean, he laid off him for 4 years, right? We heard over and over and over again that what the Democrats are doing now, Trump was going to do from 2016 to 2020. That he was going to politicize his opponents. He was going to try to throw them in jail. Remember, lock up Hillary, crooked Hillary. Oh, he's going to throw away all the keys on everyone. And we got through 4 years with nothing. And now we're 2 years into a new Democratic president, Joe Biden, who's completely incompetent. And we've had 4 different federal indictments on President Trump, a former president, which is unprecedented in the history of this country. And we are laying down and taking it. All of us, 330 million fucking Americans, are saying, no, that's cool. Go ahead. Keep going, Fannie Willis. Just get your fat ass up there and keep indicting people who you know are innocent. You keep doing that. Raise the stakes a little higher. Oh, man, I'm so mad right now. But, you know, between Fidelity and the government, I'm so pissed. Can't stand him right now. It was definitely a message to his opponents, just with a look like, hey, get ready. Because if I get back in, you guys are fucking done. Say goodbye to DOJ, FBI, CIA, NSA. I would dismantle every goddamn 3-letter government facility we have in this country. I really would. I'll take my chance in the street. Put me in the street with a 45. I'll be fine. I don't need your federal agencies to protect me anymore. Last thing I want to hear is you showing up at my door telling me you're here to help me. No thanks. Take care of my own. It is a creepy mugshot, Billy. It is creepy. It's a pretty nasty scowl, man. He's that for a while. He must have. But I sent a message, right? Like, listen, maybe you guys should fucking back off a little bit, right? Like, he's got to support the people. If you don't understand that, look at the poll numbers every time you indict him, dum-dums. Like, I just got to say for the YouTube gods, the 2020 election was completely legit, right? You all agree with that? Joe Biden won. He's the president. He won all fairly, and there was no, no interference from the Republicans on that. It's a free and fair election. I mean, and the vaccine is safe and effective. Gotta make sure so those 2 things. My last 2 videos got demonetized, so they stripped everything from me. Can you do a McConnell impression? No, Mike, I can't stay quiet that long tonight. I can't stay quiet that long. Seriously? Like, dude, you can't be the Senate Minority Leader. Is no one going to come risk tomorrow on the floor and say, listen, maybe Mitch needs to take a seat. Maybe it's time to take a long walk out back or something. I don't know. This is twice now in a month where the man has been incompetent of speaking the English language. As a congressman, a senator, the head of the GOP Senate. The world's got to be laughing at us right now. They got to be. I'm laughing, and I'm a fucking American. And I'm fucking ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We got insane people walking around, no clue where they are, saying nothing about nothing. And I'm supposed to be worried about Vladimir Putin in Ukraine? Come on, man. You got to bring it better than that. I'm not worried about Putin. I'm not worried about 100 million tyrants 3,000 miles away. I'm worried about one tyrant 3 miles away. Carl, he can't even explain what Bidenomics is. It's basically a 40% inflation over 2 years while allowing 13.5 million workers to go and return to their original jobs they had when Trump was in office and we had COVID lockdowns. So he allowed 13.5 million people to return to their jobs. He didn't create 13.5 million jobs. Everyone understands that. Like every time KJP gets up there and throws you guys that head fake, understand where she's coming from. Those numbers have to be extremely scaled because of COVID. But, you know, the people who are drinking the tea and eating this shit up on CNN and MSNBC are unfortunately deranged and they're never going to get it. They're not. DM says, Mass, watch international news. You'll see it. I am laughing, says S. Jack. We are laughing, says Jesse. I know, I'm on a bad rant, man. I got to chill. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant, but I just got pissed today with everything that happened. I heard people on YouTube yelling about other YouTubers, influencers who told them to buy. I'm like, I know sure as hell I never said $72 or $65. I remember we were talking about earlier, just talking about the MOAS word, right? I just dropped that and the catalyst word because there was never any catalyst, whether it was earnings or whatever it was. There was never anything that was going to really be that significant of a event that we could foresee to help, right? To try to get us all down the same road. And then let's not forget every other thing that has happened in every single one of our private lives and public lives over the last 2.5 years that has had some kind of effect one way or the other on how we are feeling about Aron, the stock, the market, our financial situation, the YouTubers, the SEC, the administration. You can name two or three different factors that have all had little implications on this play here and there that maybe don't seem like a big deal at the time, but certainly had an effect on everything that's gone down since day one with us. Chris says, we got to hear again in Florida, so we need to send Ukraine another $2 billion. The fact that they are forcing congressmen and women who don't want to send more money to Ukraine, who will only allow that money to go to Maui if they actually send double to Ukraine, how is that not an impeachable offense? How is that not a treasonable offense against the country? Why are you sending $700 to the residents in Lahaina, but you're paying the entire government salary of Ukraine? Talking about tens of thousands of employees getting paid right now. $700 to Maui? That pissed me off too. And people got mad about that. I'm like, our own fucking president is sending him $700 checks. Ape Daddy's Dingleberry says YouTubers would be sued, most likely lumped into RICO charge. I would say if you have fears about being sued, get off YouTube, delete your entire channel. Like Lou did, Trey, all those guys. If you have nothing to hide, you should have nothing to be worried about. And I say, if you got some questions about my brokerage account, come see me. Bring up that paperwork. And then I will double tag you for punitive damages on the flip side. Johnny Wick sniping to do that to me. He's trying to call me out about when I bought my first shares and if I ever sold them in March 2021. I'm waiting for the money to get up to where him for a fucking ride, like 2 weeks, cash. Like I want him here with it, so I can take it out of his hands. Because he's been calling these YouTubers out, being like, I know they sold and they don't got no shares and fucking this and that. I'm like, please. At least I get a little payback. I can make Cook G off John Wicken. Don't forget the kickbacks the Bidens are getting from Ukraine. Treasonous. And the mainstream media is not even covering it, right? S. Jackson says Maui did a mistake. Instead of asking for government help, they should have legally changed their name to Ukraine. I know. It's unfortunate that they're Hawaiians, right? And they don't have the same rights as the rest of the continental U.S., I guess. Unbelievable. I saw that poor guy who was on there saying, I paid my fucking taxes here for 60 fucking years, 700 fucking lousy dollars after, everything I put into this. Dude, I'm telling you, it should look something like late 1700s French Revolution. Right up to the guillotine, right? I mean, that might be a little barbaric, but I don't think prison's good enough for these people. Ruining millions of Americans' lives, young, old. Look at the fucking streets of our major cities, man. We got people, nowhere to live, no money, no income, and a government that's on the brink of collapse. We don't have money to give to the people that we just brought in. 400, 500, 600, 700,000 people in the last 6 months. I don't even have fucking cable right now. Lucy says, I'm Ukrainian. I want my money. Slava Ukraini. Mass, have you listened to Oliver Anthony Rich, Man North of Rich? Yeah, Mike. Yeah. Nice song, huh? Yeah, man, it's catchy. I can see why I got 50 million views. What is it? Rich Men North of Richmond, yeah. Rich Men North. S. Jack says, I am no longer Canadian. I am now Ukrainian. Also want my monies. Yeah, Pam, get some whiskey and coffee. S. Jackson, where are you at in Canada, man? Yuka, make sure you send me the text so I can take the shrooms, bro. I'm up now. You're not getting off that easy. Dude has lost a lot of weight. The dope is getting to him. He sniffs. Noticeable as well. Who? Ape Daddy. Dingleberries. John Wick sniping? I don't think he's on drugs. I think he's just delusional. 1796 Patriot says, one hell of a laundromat they have only. Yeah, I know. For washing cash? Dan the Pop says, so are we moving with Pam to Thailand at Mass? You got to she's a taken woman now. You got to touch Prometheus. I don't know what's going on, Pam. I can't speak for her anymore. She's just a buddy. Yeah, I know, right? Don't you just have the weirdest feeling that's going to happen somehow? Like, we're going to see in 10 years that place look completely different than it looked in 2023 before the fire. Putting up all that black fencing around. Now, why would they be doing that? I was thinking about today, right? Why would they be putting up this black fencing? First, I thought to myself, all right, they're saying this. We still got like 1,100 people missing. A lot of them are children. Maybe they don't want people peeking in to look and maybe happened upon remains or something. I get that, right? So if you're doing it for the shock factor and, you want to try to respect the bodies and stuff, I get all that, right? I get it. But I don't think the government should be allowed to shut out independent journalists from filming and doing any of that kind of stuff, man. I see that going on. And I'm like, that just seems like a warning sign to me that we're going to come up to for a fight soon about, freedom of speech and press and everything else. That they're just going to get so barbaric about shutting down the expression of opinions and the relay of information and bouncing ideas off each other. Have been doing for the last 6,000 years as a species. That all of a sudden, these fucking morons that are in DC right now are going to tell us how to make the world right again and how this is how it should be done. Ain't happening. Not on my watch. And not that I can do anything about it. I know it's just a lot of words, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, eventually I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And my life, everyone's sacrifice would be, who cares, right? Because it's for the greater good. So I guess that makes it a worthy endeavor. And think about the risk that the people who gave us our independence from Britain, or those men back in 1916 who the British Army and the greatest empire on the planet in Ireland, to kick the British out, right? Because they thought that they were tyrannical to the Irish people. And, a lot of those guys cost them their lives, right? Now, thankfully, that didn't happen here in this country, but in Ireland, it did. They killed everybody that stood up against Britain. Phil says Big Brother is watching you. If I really had any influence, Phil, it's just we're such a small community here. Us talking, I don't think we'd ever hit anyone's radar. Right? So I feel pretty comfortable speaking on, even though we might get demonetized, I'm not worried about getting arrested. 1796 Patriot says land grab. Do some DD. Phil, hopefully not in my birthday suit. I expected the SI of the stock to drop, but what I see now makes no sense. 53. Oh my god, I'm losing my sight, guys. Holy shit. I'm losing my eyesight. Maybe it's just the shrooms. I don't know. I did the SI. I'm trying to read your comment, bro. On short interest. Someone put a video out earlier saying that short interest was at 298% on E-Trade, right? Was that the claim that was made by multiple sources earlier today? Like I said, I can confirm the Fidelity thing. I don't know about the E-Trade thing. All right. He said, I expected the SI of the book to drop, but what I saw now makes no sense. What is it? 53%. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. When I looked at my Fidelity count this morning, it was telling me that AMC had a 52-week range of like $4 to $9. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Or 90 something dollars? 290% on E-Trade, right, Andrew? That was the screenshots that a couple people grabbed. Multiple sources confirmed, right, that was grabbed. Yeah. Now, is that just a glitch? Is that just because we are AMC shareholders and so we fucking notice shit like that when that number looks so abstractly out of place, like up hundreds of percentage points from where it should be? I don't know. But they're just going to say it's a glitch and move on. As far as they're concerned, that's a glitch. So we can say whatever we like to say about the short interest, but on their end, that's a glitch. And that will never help us at the end of the day. Unless we can prove that they're lying and that is the real number. But with all the self-report, short interest and everything, I mean, should we really be sitting here honestly believing that these guys are reporting accurately their short positions? Let's be 100% honest with each other right now. Let's take a moment. Let's get honest. You think these guys are reporting 100% of their short positions? Doubt it. Doubt it. Tony says it's about 22.5% on. All right, I thought I saw someone had it high earlier, T, like 26. Is that's way out of the ballpark? Because that seems like your number seems more level-headed than even 26.9 seemed high to me. I'm like, you talking about we're going up on 30% here on short interest, reported short interest 30%? Holy shit. Carl says, are you sure Tony isn't real? He could be a figment of my imagination. I'm not sure. I'd really like to think about that, maybe sleep on it. But I believe whoever I'm talking to on the other line makes sense. Whatever he's doing something right. S. Jackson says, nah, they have shorts marked as longs, right? Yeah, I'm sure there's some of that going on. There probably is a lot of that going on. Probably a lot. DM says, you think they're reporting 50% of their short? No. I mean, I guess depending on where they're looking to make their money, right? They're hedge funds, so they are looking to hedge to make sure they turn a profit. Now, whether they can do that by running with us and running the price up, or by shorting it down like they did from 72 down to a couple bucks before. I know the last 2 days we are up. I mean, wow, we closed at 1307 at the end of after hours today. Shit. All right. Candace 36% before the split. Oh, right, because that number wouldn't have been affected today by the conversion, right? In the split. Okay, so that would make more sense. Is that why someone kept saying it was around 29? T, have you heard anyone else say that? I did see someone say that earlier. It was like closer to 30% because of it was that those numbers came out before the split. But that could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. Prometheus says S Jackson, they will shut down power anytime they don't want us moving about. AMC shut down communications to keep us from sharing information. Man, if they cut communication lines on the country, we're in big trouble. If we can't organize on, we're going to be going back to the turn of the century as far as in warfare go, right? If we lose the ability to communicate through social media. Bell Creek Laser says Robinhood paved the way. Yeah, it felt like I was on Robinhood today with Fidelity. Didn't feel any different than Robinhood. If it's rising, though, Tony's correct me if I'm wrong at Tony De Niro. I think Tony said expect dilution. And I think both of us tried to say expect dilution after this reverse split. And that we both agreed we thought it was going to happen because we didn't see anything illegal in the documentation that was provided to the courts down in Delaware that would hold it back from going through, right? So we just had to be honest about as much as we could with you guys. As much as we didn't want to say that, we wish that there was a case that we could make to fucking, get some revenge and turn the tables. If that's not going to happen, then we can't say that. If we truly don't believe that deep down inside, you're misleading your audience, right? Tony says Massalorian already ran through all the Bass SI sources, E-Trade, Fintel. They are using old data. Okay, so is that why the number looks so high today? Probably also why my Fidelity account showed the 52-week high low was like 4.89 or 94. I'm like, okay, so they must have been taken into this account. So then I haven't gotten my shares yet in Fidelity. I'm still missing them. And this is day 3, right? We're about to go on day 4. Why do we not have our shares yet? Where the fuck are our shares? Fidelity people. Has anyone else not gotten their shares in Fidelity? Am I the only one? Like I said, I think I got cash for the fractals that I had. I think I got cash because I noticed today that my balance was different than the last time I had been in. Rands, have a good night, man. Prometheus says, cutting communications will be easy now that we are on nothing but network cold tower systems. Yeah. Which is why, the whole thing that Elon's doing with SpaceX and the satellite internet technology, if for some reason there is some kind of social credit score that gets going here for the masses, and they're able to control it to browse social media or interact with people based off of, I think there's no reason why they wouldn't do it. If they can do it, they can do it. Because they're fucking greedy and evil motherfuckers. Bottom line. You don't strive for a position like power like that unless you are fucking hungry for it. You must love power. Thrive off it, right? That must just get you hard in the morning, get you going. It's just being able to fucking shit on anyone, say whatever you want, be mean. You don't gotta give a fuck about you. because you know that you're affecting policy and you can make a couple plays over here with your husband and you set up your family for generations. Pelosi's never going to have to worry about money again. A lot of her constituents are. Probably most of them. They're in worse shape than before she even was brought into Congress. San Francisco's a fucking dump hellhole. Congratulations, Nancy, on a fucking what an accomplished history you had in Congress. What a brave and stunning woman you were. Going there and making plays for your husband in the stock market. Bitch. Mike says Starlink. Yeah, man. Might be one of the things that allows us to continue to communicate, right? When Russia took down Ukraine's communications at the beginning of the war, the outset, where they could do some of their drone technology and communications for artillery strikes was through Elon's Starlink. So it could be, it's not, in my opinion, it's not being used for good right now. I think the Ukrainian people should surrender and say, here's the Donbass, Russia. We want to keep the rest of Ukraine. We're not going to join NATO. We're done dying and killing our sons and sending them into a meat grinder. We want to actually have a country when this is over. But why don't we let's call this a truce? You have the Donbass. You can set up your defensive lines here. We'll draw a new border. Ukraine will stay an independent nation. The Donbass will be two separate republics. Crimea will stay with Russia. And you end the bloodshed. And you draw new borders. And that's it. And you stop the killing. That's a lot of dead Ukrainians. 400,000 killed and wounded. I mean, has the mainstream media been even touching on these numbers in the slightest? No, not a word, right? What a fucking quagmire. The absolute dumpster fire on top. So we get out of Afghanistan, and 6 months later, we're in a new fucking conflict, pouring money in that we don't have to spend and can't afford to fucking... All right, how long have we been on for? All right, man. I'm getting cranky mass. Freaking human, says Carl. Goebbels Media, says Bucksback. Someone was saying something about the cops. Who was it? What did the cops just do that was really fucked up? I saw it was a news story. Not at Burning Man. What's their example I'm thinking of, guys? Just happened the last couple of days. Well, the cops did something wicked messed up. I can't remember what it is now. Oh, Child Protective Services in Tennessee. So I saw a CPS officer with a police officer who showed up at a American citizen's door in Knoxville, Tennessee, without a warrant to try to enter his house to check in on his children without an attorney present or the parents present, with no reasoning behind why they were there or anything like that. No paperwork, no nothing. And the fucking cops who are supposed to uphold that document, the Constitution, that they swear an oath to, were saying, hey, man, stop giving us a hard time. Motherfucker, this is a constitutional republic. I have the right to tell you to take a hike if you don't have a warrant. Get off my property. Bye. No one's being difficult. We're being constitutional. And of all people, you should know the oath you took. It wasn't just to the document, it was to the idea and the meaning behind it. Pam, you crying? Is that crying emoji? Carl J said we point nukes at each other. I mean, Carl, hopefully we don't get to that, but how far away are we from possibly Russia launching a tactical nuke at Ukraine? To Kyiv or Kharkiv or, somewhere in the western part of the country or even Poland, who knows? Just to get everyone to back the fuck off. Maybe Putin should just drop a nuke in there. Say, all right, you guys want to keep playing? We'll keep playing games. How about I drop a nuke in your ass? Then see how much you're going to like that Ukraine. We wipe up 25,000 citizens in one hit, like they did in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Because why should Russia keep sending their sons, right? Why would the Russians continue to send their young men, their next generation, into a slaughterhouse like that? They don't want to do that. That's why Putin's got Prigozhin on the front lines with the mercenaries. They don't want to destroy their whole young generation of, Russian coming up in their country. Russia's very different from the United States, man. They're all on the same page over there. They're not worried about what people look like or who they're sleeping with, got in between their pants, or what they're playing with on the weekends, or what they're watching for porn in Russia, right? They're more united. I would have to say right now they're way more united than we are. And probably have been for centuries, because they've been invaded over and over and over again, and having to push out everyone from Hitler, Alexander the Great, to you name it. Go back into history. The British tried to come in, the Ottomans, they've been fighting forever to protect it. Napoleon invaded with fucking 600,000 French troops from 10 different countries, 250 12-pound cannons. I mean, they've been fighting for a long time, man. They are devoted to their country, to their land, their homeland, their culture, their identity, their religion, all that. They have one mindset, which is what we're lacking, right? So when people say sometimes diversity is our strength, I wonder sometimes, is that necessarily true? Is diversity our greatest strength? I don't know. I know people say that. But maybe if we were all thinking along the same lines, there wouldn't be so much division. Like, if you really want to live in a socialist country, you should go live in a socialist country. Get the fuck out of America. Beat it. The kind of government you want to live under, there's plenty of places where you can go in the world and you can thrive under socialism. I'm sure you'll have a great time. If you think you're going to get a better treatment in Beijing than you get in Detroit or in Moscow, you're mistaken. 90 seconds to midnight, says Bell Creek. That's a good place to stop it, right? Because I am going completely off the rails right now. We're not even talking about stocks anymore. I'm talking about Putin and Ukraine and Prigozhin. Sounds like a Disney slogan, says Jesse. By the way, I see now y'all says 6 on Warren Buffett. What do you guys think about Barry Buffett making a $10 taking a short position on the market? Does that make anyone nervous at all? Maybe they know something we don't, or is everyone just kind of over it? Mike, according to mainstream media, I don't trust a goddamn thing that comes out of their mouth. I don't care if it's Fox, CNN, or MSNBC. According to them, the DNA came back to match up Prigozhin. Would Putin kill Prigozhin? I don't even know what that coup attempt. He's got 25,000 mercenaries in his control, right? From 12, 13 different countries. They all speak different languages. They're Chechens. They're from Mali and Niger and North Africa. You're talking about Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. They're from all over the place, right? They're not even on the same page. Most criminals and their mercenaries are high mercenaries, right? So they were doing a lot of dirty groundwork and a lot of the fighting, I guess, in the beginning of the war. And so they were valuable to Putin, right? Time. But what if 25,000 armed mercenaries, he's going to take Moscow when Napoleon couldn't take it with 600,000 trained troops in the Grand Armée, like a 4 or 5 to 1 odds. Why would Prigozhin think there's any possibility that he would be able to do that with 25,000 troops? Right now, the Russian military has like 1.3 million men on standby between the reserves and what's actually on the ground. Actually on the ground and based on the border of Ukraine. Because I think when this summer ends and this big offensive push that the West has been narrating now for the last 6 months, they have been lying to you and telling you that Ukraine is they're making a counteroffensive push. They're going back in Donbass and take back Kharkiv and Crimea and get their bridge, and they'll kick them out of the Donbass. Ain't happening. I hate to break it to everyone, but just look at satellite photography of what's going on the ground there. It's very clear. Russia has established a demarcation line, a demilitarization line that Ukraine is never going to overcome. I don't care if you throw 1 million men at it. Ain't going to break it. Napoleon did take Moscow, but they emptied it out. He did take Moscow without a shot, right? Russians fled so that they could keep the war going, try to draw him out further into the hinterlands of Russia and really starve the fucking Grand Army out, right? In the middle of the winter. And then Napoleon stayed in Moscow, burnt the city, and then tried to march back to France and was entire army. Like 20,000 troops. He lost like 95% of the Grand Army trying to invade Russia in the winter of 1807, I think. He tried to invade Moscow. Hitler did the same thing. They threw his ass right back into Germany. Russian people don't fuck around, man. You don't fuck with Russians. They're hardcore, bro. Like, people in America think we're so badass. People in Russia will smack you for just saying something stupid that you get away with here on, the comment section. Yeah, came to Russia. HR comment, hire Buffett for what he said in 2020, says DM. Okay, I want to ask, has anyone, is there anyone out there right now who has seen anything outside of Trump or Biden that has really intrigued them with a political candidate? I'm just curious. Just throw it up in the chat. I just want to see if any names come out of the blue. Because there have been a couple things that were said recently that I thought were really well said by a couple different who are on the younger side. But I thought they made some really good points about at least what my idea of what the future of this country has for us, right? Lucian's Goddamn says Ukrainian war equals depopulation equals BlackRock equals CBDC equals digital IDs equals everybody knowing where everybody's at any point in time. I think that Ukraine is going to be the staging for this new great reset that they want to do. I think they're gonna try to play this out in Ukraine to see how to implement it, right? How do you go about switching over currency from the Ukrainian, I'm not sure what their currency is, but over to a CBDC Ukrainian currency, right? I think they are going to use Ukraine as they're launching for this experiment in this new world order. I really do. I truly believe that is going to give, look, that ground has been coveted for hundreds of years. It's some of the best soil on the planet for growing crops, nutritional crops that could feed hundreds of millions of people. And don't think for a second that Americans aren't looking at that and thinking dollar signs and everything else, right? Gaddafi back in 2011, when Sikorsky went in from France and started bombing Gaddafi and wouldn't allow them to advance into Benghazi to kick the rebels out, right? The NATO stepped in. They started bombing Gaddafi, all his anti-aircraft. They blew him out of the sky. No longer was there any chance. What, they get him a couple days later? That was it. It's done. Dan the Pal, good night, man. Appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Mike says, China ready to take Taiwan. It will be on. So I was listening to Peter Zeihan earlier today. Do you guys, anyone ever listen to Peter Zeihan? He's like a geopolitical analyst. He was talking about BRICS. And I know there's been a lot of speculation, right, about BRICS, about a gold-backed currency that was kind of why we took Gaddafi out, right? The reason why Clinton and NATO wanted to go in France and take out Gaddafi was because he wanted to put Africa on a gold-backed currency, right? He drove oil prices up 30%, right? And he was looking to make his country more profitable from their, what makes Libya money is their oil. So he wanted to do it's for his own self-interest of the people. I doubt he has any love for his people. In all honesty, I'm sure it was all just politically motivated and his own aspirations. Gaddafi. I'm not trying to say he's some great not. But the U.S. went and took him out with the help of NATO, and they destabilized 14, 15, 16 million people who were living in relative peace. And now, for the last 13 years, they've had civil war going on, warlords, open air slave markets, hundreds of thousands of migrants traveling across the Mediterranean, dying and ending up on the beaches of Santorini and Mykonos and Sardinia in Italy. It's a disgrace what's going on. And that was all because of NATO and that whole round up the Arab Spring and getting them all fired up to overthrow their own coup governments, just like we did in 2014 with Ukraine. We kicked out the democratically elected president to put in Zelensky, who Victoria Nuland at the State Department handpicked to replace the democratically elected president of Ukraine in 2014. There is no doubt about that information. She has said it before while on testifying in front of Congress. When she was asked about it, they had the phone call recorded saying that they don't want Vitaly Klitschko, the former heavyweight boxing champion, who's the Ukrainian governor now of Kyiv, that he wasn't going to be a good enough candidate because he couldn't Nazis in the Azov battalion who were down by area and on the main fighting line. They are some of the most embedded troops, those hardcore Nazis, the Black Sun, and all those remnants that are left over from back in. They've been Nazis for a long time over there, right? We're talking about World War II, where they were siding with Hitler on some of these things, right? They were against the communists and they were against Stalin. This is a long thing that's been happening over there. This isn't new. The mainstream media was reporting on this all the way up until the day Russia invaded. And then all of a sudden, not a word about Nazis or anything like that in Ukraine, even though they are the most prevalent ideology in that entire government by far. Had the most influence on Zelensky because they'll slit his throat in a heartbeat if he goes off script. Why do you think that man's running around on coke all the time? You can make sure you text me, bro. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go because I'm really rambling and I'm not even talking about stocks anymore. So we'll get back to stock talk. Hopefully, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I'm feeling much better, and thank God for that. Man, that was rough. If you want to know where I've been, go back to the beginning of the video. I had to do some detoxing and other things, but I'm feeling much better, so that's good. And, we got, say what you will, but in my opinion, we got a low W today. I'll take the W's over the L's any day. Even though Fidelity shut me out of the market for the power hour. Unbelievable. I finally sit down and I'm like, all right, maybe I can swing a trade real quick, pick up a little cash, try it again. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Really? You're gonna shut me out of my brokerage account right now with an hour to go in the market when the stock's running? Let's see. Oh yeah, I took it down already. Would this be a cool background picture to put up behind me? I'm trying to decide on one photo to buy. I'm buying buy one photo for this back wall. How's it look? Actually, perhaps I'm going to be able to see mine. I'm going to see it. Just here. Camera. DM, have a good night, man. This is how the guy. Mike, have a good night. Yeah, that's going to be my new picture there. I like that. Stylish. I like it. Like the hat. It's good. Oh, man. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Go check my email. And if anyone texted me. But, hey, man, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, man. I'm just good to be back. And hopefully no one did anything drastic today and everyone's still all right. And we'll see how this thing plays out, right? Pick a Fenway, Bucks fan. All right. Pick a Fenway. Not Whitey Bulger. You don't like Bulger's mugshot? I just like looking. Like if I was Whitey back in the day, that's how I want to be. I want to be dressed like that, right? If I was back in late 50s, early 60s. Oh, 53. Okay, 53. 316, 53. Yeah, dude, he's a fucking dude. He's stylish, right? And I'm a big fan of the Irish people. I think they're brave sons of bitches. To Matt, stay well. Andrew, thank you, man. Pam, love you too. Good night, good night, good night. Pam, thanks for talking about the ledge the other day too. Carl says live long and green. Andrew, stay well, you too, my friend. Thank you guys for all coming by, hang out with me. DM, man, thanks. Appreciate you guys. All, everybody, Yuka. Good to know that, you know, you keep showing up and so do your friends. It's good to know. Good to know we all have each other's back still. To some extent, at least. All right. We'll talk more tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow night. Feeling better. I'm feeling good. Finally, thank God, man. 3 weeks. I never want to do that again. Don't ever go on Adderall. Ever. Big mistake. And then come up turkey. Kill it. All right. I'm going to go call Yuka to get some shrooms. Guys, I love you. Have a great night. And keep your head up. We're fighting the good fight. And try to love each other. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.